And welcome to the second edition of Garage Dojo with myself, Sensei Burnell, and Sensei Smith. Today we're going to be going over a couple more moves, not necessarily from any set form, just a technique, which is going to be the knife hand attack. One of the other things that we want to cover today is why we're doing the Garage Dojo segments for the site. And basically my concept is we need to get the word out that you don't have to be a member of a big fancy school to learn good technique and how to apply it. So that's one of my reasons, or my base reason for getting it started. Sensei Smith?
Yeah, I like that concept. You know, just because somebody has a fancy dojo and has a big name and you know, has their name in spotlights doesn't mean they're actually going to be necessarily a good teacher. A lot of big businesses started out right there in their own garage. You know, myself and Sensei Burnell, we're just people that, you know, we love the martial arts, and we've just stumbled across this thing called Bunkai, which is fairly new out here. It's old in the UK, but it's the analyzation of you know, the traditional kata, and we're both traditionalists. We love traditional martial arts. And believe it or not, traditional martial arts is applicable in today's world, even though the martial arts, you know, karate was developed over hundreds of years ago, can be applied in the streets today. So, you know, and Garage Dojo is just another thing we like to talk about in Garage Dojo is, you know, martial arts shouldn't cost hundreds and thousands of dollars. And so being that we don't have a big overhead, we just have a garage, we still teach the basic concepts of martial arts, and we teach from our heart, not from our wallets.
At this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Sensei Smith, who's going to go through the analyzation of the pseudo or knife hand attack. Sensei Smith?
Sure. One of the things you'll see is very, especially in a lot of the kata, is the double pseudo attack. And for the most part, people were taught that this was just merely a block. Okay, but it has several applications. And one of the applications is, yes, it's a block. If Sensei Burnell were to throw a punch, I'm going to block the punch. And it's also, the second one is a pseudo attack. Here, you'll see this a lot dominantly or predominantly in the katas. 1, 2. And then you turn 1, 2 at a 45. And a lot of people would often think that block. Now what am I doing? Okay, there's a finish to it. There's a block and a strike. Other school of thought is that it is a throw. It's a setup for a throw. You've seen it come from here in the short attack or block. It also comes from here in many of the kata, which is a setup basically for a throw, because you're here, attack, here, back, and throw. Okay? And the last but not least, my interpretation of it is a lot of the deadly moves were taken out of martial arts when it was taught to children. And they didn't teach some of the deadlier parts of karate. And the other application of it is it's a neck crank block. Break the neck in this fashion. Here, setting, set, here. And as I said, when you apply the kata in a fight situation, it's going to look a lot different. In the kata, it's very robotic. You're here, here. But all you're merely doing is learning muscle memory. There are several applications to the double pseudo. It is not necessarily a block.
Yeah, and to add to what Sensei Smith just said, you may not even take, as you see, you have here, you have the steps. In the actual application, you may take a step. It might just be here and go to the snap or go to the neck crank without making the move. Okay, so you have to work it in your mind, work it into your mind, make it work for you. And that's it for today's Garage Dojo. Sensei Smith, do you have anything else that you want to add in?
No, sir.
Okay, well, we will look forward to seeing you next time. Stay tuned for another message from our sponsor, and have a great weekend.